We can go to Dr. Arthur Kennedy now then. Doc, would you say that the debates that we've had in history, I mean, I can talk about the 2008 debate that it was declared that Mahama was the winner for that debate. Do you think that it's in no small way influenced the turnout of the elections? And is that something to look at, whether the results of these debates going forward can influence voter turnout or the choices of the voting population?
Yeah, I can. But by the way, in 2008, Mr. Mahama was not in the debates. It was between Nana Akufo-Addo and
John Evans
Atta Mills. Yeah.
Having said that, debates in general bend to take some respectful disagreement are not about the nitty-gritty. Sometimes they are about the view. For example, in 1960, most Americans who listened to the debate thought that Mr. Nixon won. Most of those who watched the TV, which was a more bigger audience, thought that John Kennedy had won because he looked younger and more relaxed. So sometimes it's about the visuals. And for example, if you remember in 2008, Mr. Indium dressed very well in bright colors. His delivery was sharp, and as the statesman put it, what did they call free press, transcendental Indium connects. In the same way, when you go to 1976 in the US, the thing that most people remembered was President Ford appearing to say that the people of Eastern Europe were free, when most Americans didn't think so. And I think one of my two favorite debate moments was 1980, when Reagan summed up by saying, therefore, my fellow Americans, the question is, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? And that settled the election. So these are about moments rather than detail. And most French people remember 1988, when Chirac looked into Mitterrand's eyes and said, on this issue, looking into my eyes, tell me what I'm saying is not true. And Mitterrand said it's not true. And it turned out that according to Chirac, the camera didn't pan to Mitterrand, but Mitterrand didn't look him in the eye. So these debates are most of the time about moments. And having said that, I think that they help clarify issues. And one of the biggest effects of debates is energy. We just saw one between Biden and Trump here. Yeah. And ironically, it was Biden who called for it, and he actually proposed most of the parameters, and Trump agreed. And as a result of that, Biden's candidacy is under assault. So it is the general tone and tenor of what people take away from it, as well as the visuals.
What about the other minor parties? I mean, should we restrict these debates or the possibility of it to the two major political parties? We have the CPP, the ARC, and the rest. Where do they come in all of this?
I don't think we should restrict it. I think I like the way the Americans do it, that they have parameters. For example, if the polling that they do show that you have, say, 2% support nationally or 1% or whatever, then you belong in the debate. That I think is a very reasonable point. If you are on the ballot in 50 states, you belong in the debate. And debates are very important because if you look at Ross Perot, for example, in 1992 and then in 1996, in 1992, he was in the debates. He got 19%, which is a historic high for a third-party candidate. The following election cycle, he wasn't in the debates, and his support dropped by almost 10%. So being in the debates matter. I think this time around, for example, I would make a case that maybe Alan Chematin belongs in the debates.